Hello and welcome to Runkle of the Bailey. My name is Ian Runkle. I'm a Canadian criminal defense and firearms lawyer. A lot of people have asked me to comment on this article from the CBC, which I'm going to link in the description below. But the headline on this one is Man Walked Naked Out of Shower, Found Mountie in His Bedroom, lawsuit says. So what happens here is this guy steps out of his shower naked into his bedroom and he finds a female RCMP member there apparently waiting for him. And he's a little surprised and confronts her. And we're just going to stop the music here because it's not like that. This is the first time after he confronts her and asks her what she's doing in his bedroom that she actually identifies herself as an RCMP member. So prior to that, he was unaware that that's what she was doing or why she was there. Now, she says that she's there in order to serve him with a traffic ticket, which is not normally the kind of thing that requires entry into your house. A lot of people have asked me, why wouldn't he have just gotten the traffic ticket at the time? Well, that can happen. If they just get your license plate, but they don't actually stop you at the moment, they'll have to serve you with that ticket in some fashion. This one was for apparently not stopping for a school bus, and so yeah. This would be very unusual, but why do they say they went into his house? Well, they say that they got to his house and that they knocked on his door, and the police claim that it just flung open when they knocked on it. And so they went in to have a look around. Now, this is concerning because one officer was reported to be, so the male officer was reported to be searching this guy's house at the point where he comes out once he's gotten dressed, whereas the female officer had come in and gone into his bedroom, where they probably would have heard the shower going. Now, the RCMP have made a statement here. They have said that they have case law that says that when they find a place that is insecure, and I'll just quote here from the article, they say there's case law that if there's an insecure premise, that police have a duty to make sure that nobody's injured inside, and the only way you can do that is to enter. Well, there is case law along those lines, but it's actually kind of limited. It's in situations where you might think that there's somebody injured inside. And that might be a circumstance, for instance, where you're walking down the street and you see a place where the door has been obviously kicked open. The police might have to investigate that and see if there was a burglary there. Or if there's, if they get a call about a suspicious activity at a house or something, and the door is wide open, then they might have an obligation to go and check it out. But not when they're just there and they know why they're there. And it's not that anyone's in danger. This ticket is not, nobody's in danger at this point. And they find the door closed. It's just that when they knock on it, it opens. I'm not sure how hard you have to knock for that to happen, and whether or not you also have to be turning the doorknob at the same time, because I kind of suspect that, but yeah, there's just no reason, and I don't think the case law actually supports them having any obligation or any right to enter here. Further, the case law that they're talking about specifically states that when the police are entering a premises, they need to announce themselves. They need to shout out. And this guy was surprised. Maybe he was surprised because he's in the shower, there's water running, but you would think that the officer, upon entering into his bedroom and hearing the water running, would have shouted, "Police!" so that he knows that they're there, and maybe to throw on a towel before he walks out in front of a female officer. There is also case law that talks about just the impact of strip searches and why those should never be conducted by a opposite gender officer, which this seems like a parallel to. Now, you'll probably imagine that they apologized and they treated this with dignity and respect. And oh wait, no, it's the other thing. Because according to the allegations in this lawsuit, and as reported in the CBC article, they apparently started laughing while he was there. And they were laughing, saying, oh, should we investigate whether there's been a break and enter? They knew that they didn't have any right. They were joking about that. And the thing is that that joke actually ends up being accurate because the police should have investigated whether there was a break and enter by the police. Because if the police aren't acting under their authority, then they act with no more power than you or I enjoy. And here I don't see that the claim that they're making in their defense of we're acting under our authority or we're acting under a duty, I don't see that holding water. I just don't. If the window was broken, if the door was kicked in, if any of those things, sure. But that's not what these allegations say. And I mean, unless we hear something different, I just don't see it. So at that point, if they don't have that authority, all that means is that they're effectively equivalent to you or I. And if I walk up to some random person's house and I knock on the door and it turns out that door is unlocked, I am not entitled to enter that premises. And in fact, by doing so, I would be breaking and entering. You might say, well, they didn't break anything, but you're not actually required to break things for breaking and entering. So it does seem that there should be something pursued here. Now, he also went, and so he wasn't treated very well at the time, but he went and made a complaint, and he was told that they would investigate and get back to him, which they didn't, because of course they didn't. So he went down to the detachment, and apparently the receptionist at the detachment referred to him as the shower guy. And he could tell that there was discussion within the detachment. They had a good laugh about this. They talked about this. And so that adds to the humiliation and the upset, right? The part of the reason why we don't allow random people into our house is because we do private things in our house, like have a shower or whatever else that we don't want observed. I'm also very concerned and troubled by the allegations that they were searching, because there's just no reason to have a look around, even if you think that they're looking for anything else. It just makes no sense. So I'm going to be trying to follow up on this lawsuit, see what happens on it, but I am very concerned because based on these allegations, it sounds like the police officers were behaving criminally. And that the police apparently seem to have no interest in actually following up on whether the police committed a criminal offense. I can pretty much guarantee you that if I broke into a police officer's home and said, you know what, the door was unlocked, I just thought I'd let myself in, and ended up walking in on a female Mountie, I would not be making this video. I'd be appearing in a courtroom wearing bracelets. It's just unbelievable, the double standard that seems to get applied here. And we should be protected. We should be protected not just from, random people, but also from the police if they are engaging in behavior that is outside of their authority. That's, and if the police can't offer that protection, then that's a big problem. So I am very concerned about this, and I will, as I said, continue to try to follow up on it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Maybe you think I'm out of line here, but I'm really troubled. This is, there's just no excuse for it. And, again, assuming that the allegations are made out, because we don't know. Maybe it turns out that these are, completely unproven, but they're very troubling allegations at this stage. Anyway, thank you for watching. A lot of people wanted me to comment on this one. We don't know a whole lot right now, but yeah, I don't think that they're at, one of the big questions people were asking is, does this claim about the law seem to make sense? And the answer from me is, I don't think so. No. The other question that will, the other sort of thing here is people say, what do we do about this? Well, I guess you lock your doors, not just to keep out criminals, but to keep out the police. So it's a good idea to lock your door. I know a lot of my viewers are in sort of more rural areas where they might not be in the habit of doing so, but it might be a good idea to start. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you found this to be interesting or educational. Please like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to see more content. I also want to thank my Patreon supporters at the $50 level: Lembas for the Health, the CCFR, Canada's National Firearms Association, and the Canadian Shooting Sports Association. At the $20 level, Lindsay Metcalf, Larry Kalniak, Here's a Coin Legal Witcher, Cameron Johnson, Andrew Elsich, Vicky, and Dorky Dane. Thank you as well to my $10 supporters who will be in the crawl immediately following. Thank you for watching. I hope this has armed you with knowledge. See you next time.